Turn on the torch, light up the flame. Time to melt some glass, my friends. There you are, here I am to explain, to teach, and create again. Hi, people. I've been on a little bit of a kick with doing some goblets, and I actually got an order for one, so I am going to see what I can do. I have the live chat right over here, and chat room, welcome, and as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. That's the fun part about my glass is when you're bored, come watch. Maybe it'll put you to sleep easier. Anyway, I'm making some goblets. I just made one a little bit ago, and looks like, matter of fact, I'm going to put it over on the other thing. Let me see, other camera. Excuse me. Couldn't think of the name of it at the moment, but we're getting there. Save, and here we are. You can see, nice dolphin goblet. Not enough for a quick sherry, nip back a sherry with it or whatever, but it's more ornamental than anything else, but a true goblet. Actually, I'm getting better at making the cone part pretty nice, and the base, it's not wobbly, which is the good thing. Yes, well, you can see it. There you go. Oops. All right, Graceful. We'll get there. So, are we ready? We're ready. Oh, looks like I went something. Oh, there we are. We're back again. For those that, again, come into the chat room, hello. And I do have a live video feed. And I can see the chat room, and you can type in something, and I can say hi. If you have questions or whatever, just I'll see what I can do about answering them. Without further ado, I was in the middle. I've already made the cone part of the goblet, and I'm going to be making the base. And I have one dolphin ready to go, but I think I'm going to do another dolphin. So I'll do the whole deal so you can see it from beginning to end. Yay for me, I guess. So without further ado, let's get on to this. Oh, you know what? You've probably been able to hear me, but not very well. How's that? Is that any better? Oh, yeah, you can see, I saw the green tags going all over the place now. Sorry about that, folks. I had the headphones or headset a little bit further away from me, but it was doing the job. You could hear me, I think, but you can hear me now. Excuse me. Let's see what we can do about making the base to this goblet, and then we'll make the actual dolphin part of the goblet. Okay? Okay? Okay. Now, I've made up some cane from periwinkle blue, like so. Cane stringer. I did it again. I said cane the first time when I was making it, and that's not what it was. Stringer. Just thin rods ready to go, so that all I have to do is just line what I'm doing with the. See, there's the blue lines and then the blue dots, and it's all made from the stringer here. Okay, we shall see what we can do here. Again, I've already made the top part of this base or the goblet, and now we're going to do the base part of the goblet. Okay, let's light her up. See where we can go with this. There we are. This has been cooled, so I'm warming it back in. I'm going to tilt this up just slightly. Oh, when you know it, There we go. Stay. Oh, 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 oh. Sorry about the glare, guys. It's the way it works, I guess. Let me try this again. There, you can see it better, but I'm trying to put the didymium lens over it so you can see without the bright yellow flare going on at the same time. There we are. Again, warming it in, and we'll go from there. And it's about what I want. Okay. Line the lines. I'll twist and swirl it later. That's all that you need to do right now is just put the lines on it. Like so. And then the dots. I did 3 on top, so we're doing 3 in the bottom. I just put 3 dots randomly between each line. It might have a symmetry to it, but it is random. Oops. Got them all. Good. Okay. Last but not least, I'm going to put a cobalt blue trim around the lip of the base here. And all I'm doing is just layering it on like, and that will be that. I'll get the blow hose going here. Heat it all evenly. And then I'm going to swirl the pattern a little bit. I'm also trying to let it all melt in, that it's not just stuck on the surface. If you understand the principle. There we go. It's working itself in quite nicely. Okay. Now I'm going to pull this out a little bit, and then I'm going to start flaring. Instead of working it hard, so you cut it to the right size. If you do most of the work beforehand, what I'm going to do is down here at the base where I put the line of color, blowing out slightly, making a little bit of a Maria going on. Okay. I'll blow it out just a little bit more. Hello, who's ever watching? Welcome to the show. Making a base for a goblet, a mini goblet, but a goblet, a dolphin. I'm going to make the dolphin next. I decided to do the base and the goblet first. I'll show you what it's going to look like in just a second. Now, what I'm doing is the rim to the base or the lip of this goblet, and I'm pulling out about where I want it to
cut off pretty thin. And now I'm going to blow it out. And melt it off. If you have a question or something, oh, by the way, thank you guys for being there. Finally reaching 500 subscribers. I think it's 504 the last time I looked, which is pretty substantial. My goal is to try to get close to 1,000 before Christmas, and I think it's an attainable goal. Took me a year and a half to get 500, but I think I can do. It's just continually continuing, and that's what I'm doing. Now, the idea here is that I'm spinning around the edge or the lip of this goblet to make it even, to make it where I want it, and to flare it out a little bit too. Because, of course, the base has to be wide enough to hold the whole piece. I think I've got it about where I want it. So now I'm going to heat and press evenly. And that's where you get your less wonky, wobbly base. Actually, it came off before I wanted it to. Okay, now I gotta get it centered a little bit better. There we go. Heat it up a little bit more, and I'm gonna flatten it just one more time. There we go. Now, I'm also gonna put a little bulbous thing of periwinkle blue near the base, yeah, the base of the base, where it connects into the dolphin. Let me finish this, and then I'll get right up and put that on there. Oops. Well, that might just be able to melt in. Yeah. The idea was to sort of let it weld in a little bit, but that'll do. Oh, by the way, click like, click subscribe, click share, whatever you want to do with it. Well, within reason. As long as you don't make a porno out of it. Now, more than one person's probably typed the word glass blowing into a search engine and got porn because they want you to blow something else, but that's beside the point. What some interesting sites you can really come up with. Woo! No. Okay. That's going to be big enough. I'm just going to let that round in. And then I've got the base ready to go for this dolphin goblet. I also want to do, the other day I was doing a live show and did a feed. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I might just do that instead of the dolphin goblet. Okay, there's the tip of that. But no, actually, no, I'm not going to. I was going to say I was going to go ahead and make this into a goblet, which I plan on doing, but I just haven't done it quite yet. Probably from stem to stern there. We'll figure out where. Probably bend her knee just a little bit more, and that's where it's I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, well, I could always give her an umbilical and behind the wings, right? So that she's actually flying. That might be interesting. I might try that. Different looking, different way of looking at it always helps. Okay, let's see what we got here. Nope. Where is the... There we are. Periwinkle. Here we go. You can type in your chat room. If you scroll down to the bottom, if you're using a phone, there is a way that you can type into the chat room if you wanted to. But I understand if it's not available or you don't want to. It's going to get a little warm, so I'm going to go ahead and let that all melt in. And I'm also going to put another cold or a punte on the back side of this because it's getting warmer. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to sort of press it in and sort of make a Maria, and then I'm going to pull it out to make the dolphin shape. I'm going to give it some nice, this is encased periwinkles, so there's some nice swirls of color going on in the piece itself from the way I put the clear over the color, which is pretty cool. That's the fun part. And then we'll make this into, of all things, a dolphin. I've already done a couple of them. I think it's about the size and shape that I wanted them. Making a couple more. Well, this one, it's making two about the same size and about the same shape so that it's a matching set. That's the fun part on this set. Oh, there we go. Flatten it out and spin it around a little bit. There we go. There. I'm keeping it where the torch isn't really loud. I'm just letting it flow. In fact, I can probably put a little bit more flame into it now. Okay, I think I'm getting there. We're close enough for what I want to do. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah, that's just about the right size and everything. Good. Had just enough. Curving up the dolphin. It's funny, once you get it right temp and everything's going well, it's getting it to the right temp though, and letting it flow. You know, this time, I don't know, to give it justice, I've got to use the same basic colors I did the last time. I was going to do a jade green one, but it's a matching set. Can't be a matching set if it's got different colors all the way through it. The idea is to keep the color variation down to a minimum. Here we go. Pull that off, tweezer it off. That's got some clear in it that I don't like. What is it about you get hot glass in your hand and you get an itchy nose? Don't scratch with it with what you got in your hand, please. Not good. I know I've said it once or 3 or 4 times, but you know what? Good things are worth repeating. Or suffer the consequences. Scratch with hot glass, burn face. That'll work, right? Unless you don't want it to work. Okay, first thing I usually do on the dolphin body, besides the actual body shape, is the dorsal fin. A little bit of the fold and pull method going on. We're dealing with it. Now the front fins, I usually do a little bit of a narrow and then flare it out with the fold and pull to make the front fins. There we go. Yeah, you've seen me make more than one dolphin in its times. Here we go again. Fold and pull. Oops, almost. Spot. There we go. Okay. Ooh, whoa, whoa. That got a little bit more melted than I wanted. There we go. Now the nose and the eyes. It's fun putting the eyes on and making sure that they're across from each other. Takes a little bit of practice, but it works out well. Okay, people? Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead, since it's right here and I got it all ready to go, putting on the top part of this goblet to the stem, which is the actual dolphin. This is bench cooled, so you got to warm it in and make sure you're not, there it goes, about right what I want it. Bringing it in, heating it up, and touching it too. Touch and pull a little bit. There we go. Let's see what it's looking like comparatively to the other one. A little bit different, but feasible, I think. We'll see. Okay. You know what? I'm going to let that bench cool for a little bit and then get back to this back side here and put the bottom on. And while that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and make the base for this other one that I told you about, which is the fairy one. Okay. We shall see how it works. Again, if you have a question, also you can email me at manofglassfire@gmail.com. You can also get a hold of me through Instagram at Lucian Libby and also at Facebook with Lucian Libby. If you want to join my little Facebook group, which is Melting Memories, and I know I put a lot of my own stuff up there, but that's to try to inspire you guys to get going and keep at it. If you have a question or wanted me to try something, that would be a good place to suggest it. And I would see what I can do about getting to it, for sure. Okay. Let's get a different color. Now there's jade green in the body, so we're going to make some quick stringer of jade green for the goblet itself, which is cool. Right, right. Flare it out. Not flare it out, but pull it to a point. Pull it out. There we go. One long stringer. Doing about one or two more of these, just because I can. Rip it off. Oh, of course it's gonna be stubborn. There we go. Okay. Thin it out. Now tonight, no, make it probably Friday or Saturday night. I will try to see about the drawing for the 500 subscriber mark. Um, I will put something on my YouTube, my Facebook page, Melting Memories. Pick a number between probably 1 and 50 and see how that goes. If there's more than 50 people that want to be in there, then we'll properly expand it. But in the past, most people who have put or their name in the drawing ended up not getting or not. There was like 10 to 20 people in the drawing, and yet there were more numbers than that. But we'll get there. So we'll see. Probably 1 to 50, and if we get more, then we'll go from there. And I'll apologize in advance and maybe do another drawing if it's more than 150, right? 50 people, but we'll get there. Okay, I'm sort of bringing it down into a cone. As you can see, this is the tubing that I'm using right now is silver fumed tubing that I made from scratch, and I can put that in the details of the description part of the page. Okay. Now this is basically what I've been doing is making some lines and putting some dots. And they're random dots, but all in all, they are they get some uniformity going on anyway. Okay, I'm gonna do this number. It's just a swirl, wavy thing back and forth. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just the lip of the base. We're gonna do the base first this time. Okay. Now I'm gonna blow it all out and make it all nice and even from the lines and stuff, and also sort of start twisting it slightly. Blowing it out slightly. It's just instead of flaring it out, if you have most of the work done for you before you flare it out to the base, you're in good shape. Right? Right. Okay, we're going to put cobalt blue bulbous thing going on for the actual where the base meets the stem. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to heat up just at where I'm going to pull it off and make the lip of this base. Heating and blowing out a little bit, and the reason being is to sort of make a Maria and blow it off at that. Not quite center. Gonna try to center it a little bit. Here we go. Now at the base here, where the lip is coming at it, I'm gonna sort of pull it off really, really thin, together but thin, and then blow it out. And that just sort of helps the rim be a little bit more uniform all the way around. It may not look like it at the moment, but it'll get there. Now I'm going to heat and flare. There it goes. You can tweezer if you got a low point or a high point. You can set it, take a set of tweezers and gently, bently touch and pull upward. That'll work. Yeah, my bases aren't exactly round, but I do the job for the character for the goblet. There we go. Okay, the base of the goblet's done. Set that down. Now we're going to do the top part of the goblet. This is where the lip was to where I blew out to make the bottom part of the lip. Now we're going to seal that all back together. Oh, that's great. That's great. We'll get there. There we go. Seal it in. Oh, there was a hole. No, it's not. It's going to be just about the size I want it to be. Oh, sorry, Gubs. I didn't see you until now. Hi. Sorry. Nobody's been chatting until now. Sorry about that. Welcome to my chat room. And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whenever you're going to watch this. Another goblet. I had an order for a couple of those little goblets, some dolphin ones actually, but I'm going to take a little bit of a break from it and do a. The other day I was doing and did a fairy body, that fairy into a goblet. That's fun. Trying to come up with a little bit of R&D as I go along too. Now I've done some jade green cane stringer, duh. Keep saying cane. I don't know why. Gonna line the top of the goblet. So. And for those that makes other types of tubing stuff, you can use this to design your tubes. Getting a little warm on my fingers, but doable. Okay, what am I looking for and where's it at? Nope. Here we go. Oh, what the heck? Hot piece of glass nips from somewhere. Um, so when's the birthday, or is it today, or in a couple of days? When you turn in the big 2-1? Blowing this all out a little bit, it kind of thicker wall when I need it to be even. So I blowing it out and then letting it sort of collapse back in a little bit and spin it to make it more even in the right places. Getting really thin there. I might have to use another piece of tubing because it's now thinner in some spots and thicker in others. Oh, in 2 days. A little bit of a lag, but also me trying to pay attention to what I'm doing and not look up to it many times. Hi, Athena. Glad to see that a few people are showing up to watch, especially at my early. Yeah, I wouldn't say trash that. I'll use it later for something else. And I'm going to add or just grab another piece of tubing. This one's got some different colors going on too, but it'll work out for what I want it to do for the top part of this goblet. Warm it in, but I do have enough stringer to do what I want to do. Elgin. That's a nice name, Elgin. Hi, Athena. I know I probably said it before, but it's good to have a few people show up and chat in my live chat room going on, and also here to see what I'm up to. It's probably warm enough now. Okay. Again, what you got to do is you layer. I'm layering onto the made from scratch silver fume tubing, and it's a good type of base to start out with. I mean, now between each one of these lines, I'm going to put a couple of dots. I'll do 3 since there's room for it, and they're random, but they're between the lines. You know, read between the lines. Ha ha ha. Okay, 3 more. And there we go. Okay, what did I do on the base here? Let me look it over real quick. Oh, that's not it. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's all jade. Okay, so I'm going to take the jade green, and also this is just swirled on line. It's not really. It's just a swirl pattern, a wavy pattern. Excuse me. Doesn't have to be anywhere in particular. Just is. Yeah, I know that feeling about the computer breaking. They sort of tend to do it just when you don't want them to. And I know yours were patchwork older ones, weren't they? Did you finally get some good stuff? You just finished for the night. Making anything good, Elgin? I'm sort of heating this all the pattern in, and I'm gonna let it smooth up to the surface. And as I do it, also I'm gonna start twisting it a little bit. Okay, I think I got what I want. Now it's to push, blow, and make a little bit more of Maria's going on here. Yeah, the wall is a lot more even, looking a lot better on this than it was on that last piece of tubing. And it was the end of the tubing anyway. Sometimes it just sort of screws up like that. Okay, here we go. Now, if you do a lot of your sort of like hand laser work before you blow it and flare it out, you can probably do some more interesting design in the actual tubing itself that ends up being the base and also the goblet part of the piece. Wow, your fourth and fifth oil rig. Cool. Excited for you. There we go. I'm sort of putting a ball onto the base where it's going to hook into the uh, the body of this ferry. And now I'm going to now go about where I'm going to blow out for the top of the goblet. I'm first making sort of a Maria there. Now I'm going to heat it up just at where the rim is and start pulling it and pulling it really, really thin. And then at the last minute, blow it out. Now that doesn't look very even right now, but as you do this and spin it quite nicely, and if you got that thin enough wall going on to begin with, there we go. It flares out quite nice, and I don't think I got it centered, the goblet itself centered, but I'm compensating, I think. Now, let's see if I can't help to center it a little bit more. I'm going to heat it up just near the base and pull away with the tweezers. Just slightly. Okay, now I'm going to heat up just the lip and press it and flatten it up a little bit. But that worked out real good. And again, it's a little wonky, but that's the way my glass is. It gives it a contemporary look to it. It's not perfect, but well put together makes the big difference. I'm here to inspire, not to make you feel like I'm way out of your league. That's the truth. No problem, Elgin. I enjoy doing those videos. It's been fun. I mean, I'm finally reaching 500 subscribers, which is I'm excited about big time. My goal for all of this, or my goal in the next near future anyway, is to try to get close to try to get 1,000 before the end of the year. So if you want to share, if you want to click like, if you explain it to other people, hey, come and join my crowd, I'd appreciate it. Every little bit I can get, I'll take. Okay, I'm sort of putting a cold weld right at the top of the head here. I was warming it in, making sure that it was pretty much where I wanted it. I'm thinking one way I wanted to make this fairy, I think it's going to be a little bit more straight. I'm going to put the right about here near the belly button is where I'm going to put the bottom part of the base. Let's see if what it will look like real quick. It's not cold, so I mean it's not hot, so we can play with it. Oh yeah, we got to bring up the stem a little bit to the, and it's going to go right about like that. And then I'm going to bring another part of the stem right up the middle of the back there to where it's holding onto the top part of the base. And it's just going to be clear. That's basically what's going to be going on here, just for convenience sake. Warming it all up in here near the belly. Cool. I like that idea about the dragon stylized. It's see, that's what I'm doing is trying to give you a basic ideas and add your own flair to them. Add your own signature to it. Give you something to, like I say, and not a goal that you feel like, oh man, this is way out of my league. I try to give you the inspiration you need so that you can say, hey, that's something that I have the capability of doing, instead of no freaking way. And the other part that I like about my videos is, again, I try to talk on a lot of levels all at once, believe it or not. Now this is where I'm going to go ahead and make a nice seal fuse right to the body, and we'll figure it out from there. Looking good though. Making the stem just right. It's going to go to about the depth or the length. Well, we'll get back to that, but now we're going to work on the fusing the other part to the back. I might even have to do a single flame here. I tend to try to use exactly what I have available, the same flame throughout. It's just the way I work it. Just the way I work it. Yeah, about right in between the wings. That's going to be the fun part. Let's see what we can do. Going to have to do this. There we go. And get a good spot. And this is getting the color right. And this is going to be right in the middle of the wings. And that's going to be almost a bummer. I might have to flare the wings out a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm going to. And I can flare them back later. This spot in the back of the body without too much trouble. Yeah, just that little extra bit coming off for the body. It's going to work out real well, I think, just enough so that I can attach this. And maybe that might be a good idea too, is I'm going to use a center rod just to do the attaching and then fuse it in, make a nice little bulbous thing going on. Here we go. Get the color going on all the way throughout. That's the most important part. and pull off, and then fuse it in all the way around it. Looks like I got some of it onto the hair, but that's okay. But it's very, very important to make sure that it's all sealed in properly, because you'd hate for it to break off at the base, right at the where it nips into the body. Now, if I was smart out and knew what I was doing the first time, but this fairy idea is just, I did the fairy the other day on the live video feed, and I figured um, I was going to make it into a goblet anyway, but I just didn't have the energy to go ahead and do it. Actually, no, I ran out of time. That's what happened. I had to go to work. So here we go. I think now to go ahead and bring that to a little bit hotter flame going on, a little bit more flame going on. I think I got what I wanted out of that. And I'm going to add another little bulbous thing right here. And it's connected quite well. That's a good thing. Okay. And that'll be a good place to join the top of the goblet to it right there. Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put the top of the goblet on, and then we're going to pull off the bottom part and work that. Here we go. There we go. Seal it together real well. Whoop, 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 whoop. That was me letting go and not realizing how fluid the glass was. Tug it a little bit. Make sure it's more centered. There we go. Stay. These are fun. Actually, it's a little bit long, but we're going to live with it. I think that's a little bit long, but we're going to live with it. Okay. Hi, T. Big T, anyway. Okay, we got the base going on here. I'm going to go ahead and pull it off right about there. And I'm going to get back to the base, believe it or not, because I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to do, I thought I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. I'm going to get back to this one that I was doing a little while ago and put this all together. Okay. I got to put the fins in the back part of this, and I just wanted to have that in my hand while I was working it instead of on the end of tweezers, so that I could get a better feel for the balance, a better feel all the way around for the whole thing. And that's what I'll do momentarily with the fairy and put the base on it, just like I'm doing right now for this base. Okay. Yeah, it is 420, isn't it? Yeehaw! You know, you talk about 420. I remember going through high school, and I have a Mormon background. I'll admit that in a heartbeat. Drugs, no smoking, no alcohol, and that marijuana was considered an illegal, no good for nothing drug that you're not supposed to, you're not supposed to do harmful things to your body. But in the last little while, the things that I've seen and done and read about, and getting into the Torch Talk family, I'm learning a lot about how much wool they were trying to pull over our eyes about cannabis. And I wouldn't say that I'm an advocate to say, go light up immediately, because me myself, I have still yet to take my first draw. And my sister, for years, has been a cannabis partaker, and she stopped recently. She was going to try to get a civil servant job and try to get you have to clean the system out and stuff like that. In the process of her coming off of it, she realized her pain levels were higher, and that she had hands, but before it didn't bother her. And now that she had stopped taking, oops, did I get that in the right spot? No, not right yet. That's why I wanted to do this. Oh yeah, getting better. It's a little leaning. We can work that out. Tilt it this way with this. But anyway, um, and if I all of a sudden started having to take chemotherapy or something like that, my drug of choice for pain therapy and also nausea, I wouldn't think about it too hard, too fast. I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'd because of the benefits that I've seen, especially like I say, the Torch Talk family and where they've come with it and what they've done with it. The way I've seen them act with it. And I'm a little, I think, on the empathetic side. In other words, somebody else will partake, and I'll feel a little bit of the draw effects and stuff, which kind of sounds crazy, but that's just the way I feel. I guess I got to wait here and get this. Oh, yeah. There we go. Looking even, looking good. Tilting a little funny, which we can heat up near the base here. There we go. Beautiful. Tilting it, twisting it. Still have to get the top part, and I'll do that just a little later on. But there's that one. One, and I did one earlier. Oh, one's a little taller than the other. Dang it. Maybe they'll like it, maybe they won't. If not, I can adjust one way or the other on some of it. That's the way it works. Now, back to this lady. See, I wanted it to hold it in hand. And now we're going to work on putting the base on. See how that goes. Lord Stump. Hey, this isn't Torch Talk. I wonder how long it took for him to realize when they said the word Lord Stump for them. I think, yeah, he's in on the joke now, but when it first started out, it was fun. Even when I'm in the Torch Talk group, I'll say, hey, nobody's mentioned Lauren lately. Oh, Oh, you're going to go to that thing in Alaska, Gabe? Yeah. Like I say, the people who have ongoing chronic pain, if I had something like that going on in a heartbeat, I'd be doing it, doing the ganj justice. And that looks interesting. I have definitely got to work on my goblets. And here she is. I can't touch the bottom of the base because of how hot it is. But that turned out for the first time at doing a fairy goblet, not bad. And I got a tie pin now so I can actually sign this stuff, which is pretty cool. I like it. Oh, you're going to a class in California with him. Cool. Because I saw that he was hanging out with the group too. Um, I'm going to be winding it down here, guys, just because. Not that I wouldn't mind doing it for another hour or two sometimes, but you know what? Some people think it because it goes on and on and on and on. That gets a little boring. But every time you watch me, I know that there's something to be learned, and I try to explain what I'm doing every time, uh, which is very important. I will have pictures of these on my Facebook Melting Memories page. So if you have any questions or if you want a request of what you would like to see done into a goblet or other things that I can do for you guys, don't hesitate. I mean, that's part of the fun of it. And that's what I like about the live video chat feed is that it's the interaction. It becomes a gestalt almost, even in Torch Talk Hangouts. And if you have never been there, I suggest that you give it a try. You have to go to the Torch Talk Facebook page, and just below their intro, it talks about some stuff, and then it says and something about get more or read more or whatever. And you click on that, and it goes down, and it talks about a 24/7 Hangout page, and that is you can go in there whether you have a torch in front of you or not, and preferably with a torch. That's the thing about it is instead of it becoming you having a one man studio, it now becomes everybody that's in the studio all at once, which is pretty cool. In other words, you got about a 5 to 10 man studio going on, and everybody um, contributing and people catching on. That's where Gabe learned a lot when he was first starting out. Yeah, and anyway, give it a try. And also, I might try to do a hangout uh, evening one time too, and maybe even record it and put it on YouTube eventually. Maybe I don't know, just to see how it goes. Um, I think that would be exciting to get a. I almost got one particular artist on, but it never really congealed due to his internet or something at the last minute. But we will try to in the future get other artists and bring them together and also do some more teaching on the internet. I haven't been doing it during the winter because most people's studios are a little bit on the chill side. So with that, yeah, 24/7 Hangouts. It's a great one. if it was possible to go ahead and put the URL. Matter of fact, I will do that. I will put the URL in the description below. Give it a try, and it is worth its weight in friendship that you can gain, in people that you can meet, and that you can create for sure. With that, I think I'm going to call it quits for the moment. I might be doing another live show tonight, depending upon how busy I get. So thanks for everything. And as always, enjoy your day. And my new favorite saying is carpe vitro. So have a good one, guys. Thanks for being there. And we got to 5 people out there in the, well, 5. It should have actually 4, because I'm in the chat room too, uh, so that I can read everybody's stuff. So thank you, guys. And as always, carpe vitro.